Look, in training, I went through a difficult time, right, because I broke both my wrists. But I got a real good pass in training when I went back 4 days later with my casts cut off, and they asked me where my casts were, and I told them I'd cut them off because I refused to be backswathed, because I wasn't losing that race to get out of there. Because let me tell you something, ITC Catterick back then was a brutal environment. Racism, bullying, getting physically beaten, abused, getting beasted at 3 a.m. in the morning, watching on Panorama.
When you say beasted 3 a.m., what do you mean by that?
Beasted is where you get punished for either messing up or absolutely not messing up, but we'd get beasted regularly because, look, we're preparing for war at the end of the day. If you can't handle a beasting, you can't handle Afghanistan. We sat there watching ourselves on TV, on Panorama, because of the bullying culture and the racism in Catterick, and I was 17 at the time.
Jesus Christ. How do you deal with that when you're so young?
You have to develop a strong mindset, bro. I remember just crying in the toilet, and I had a notebook on me, and I'd written down in a notebook why I was there and what my goals were and why I was going to endure the pain and stay it out. And I passed out without getting backswathed. I was probably the first ever soldier in ITC Catterick that had broken anything and not been backswathed. However, when you leave infantry training and you think the bullying culture and the racism stops there,
it's worse.
I'll tell you why it doesn't fly fast, because you're actually anticipating the fear each day of what's going to come for you, because the people who are running your program or your training are there to force weakness out. They will break you down until you are broken, and then they will build you back up again. And out of 44 that started, I believe there was about 27 that passed out.
The 50%, basically 50% rate that actually went...
100%, bro. Within the first few weeks, people are... You go AWOL as well, you get put in the glass house back then, which was a military prison. So you couldn't go AWOL, but you could request to leave. What you don't want on the front line is someone next to you that can't mentally handle a beasting, because they're not going to be able to help you in battle.